Hey guys, it's Joel. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, I'm gonna react to a video what my trip to Japan was like. So let's get started.
In October, I went on the first vacation I've been on with my family in years.
Family
My dad works
vacation.
super hard all the
Nice.
time, so normally it would be either my brother, mom, and me, or just me and my mom. And even those vacations
That's
became
typical.
pretty sparse. It's been over 10 years since we've all had a family vacation, and all of a sudden we have a week to be squished together in a foreign country. So how'd this one go?
Akiba.
Day one, we arrived at the Tokyo airport after a nice and easy 11-hour flight and got off the plane like, wow, I can't believe we finally
Wow.
made it. We've been planning and looking forward to this trip for almost a year, and it's finally happening. How do we get out of here? We walked around the airport for 2 hours trying to figure out what we had to do, which train we had to get. We lost Dad for like half an hour in the Sea of Asians.
Sea
I'd
of
already
Asians.
expected the worst and thought he was dead. But no worries, turns out he wasn't taken out by the Japanese mafia. My mom had to get
Yakuza?
train tickets
Huh?
and he had to take care of the luggage, so we split up and planned to meet at a ticket counter. But little did we know there were two of them on opposite ends of the floor, and as the stereotype goes, they looked exactly the same. So my parents were just grumbling and waiting for each other to show up at the
Tragedy.
opposite ticket
Yeah.
stand with no method of communication because we didn't have Wi-Fi yet. After figuring that
So I recommend that you get pocket Wi-Fi first because there are a few Wi-Fi spots in Japan.
out and getting to the Tokyo station, we had to use the subway to get to our hotel. None of us grew up in the city, and using the subway was new to us, so we had to look at the train station map to see what to do. And is this the Windows 98 pipe screensaver?
Screensaver.
What is this? Props to people who use the Metro daily,
Yeah,
or
I
even
know,
just
I
know
know.
how to figure that stuff out, because
It's,
that's like a
complex,
whole Bill Gates
yeah?
secret code, and the consequence of making a mistake is paying to be plopped in an area you never wanted to be at in the first place. We didn't even know how to start reading the map, so my dad resorted to the only logical option. Do you speak English? Do you speak English? Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
Please, help us.
Actually, it's a logical, but not an effective way. So, most Japanese people can't speak English and they can't tell you which is the right train to your destination. Yeah.
英語話せるわけねえじゃねえか。迷子になれ。
Suddenly,
A good
Japanese.
90% of the time we were lost and not knowing where to go. So my dad would keep walking up to random Japanese people and trying to communicate with them in English, even though we
In
were in
vain.
a country that doesn't speak English. And when they obviously wouldn't understand, he would just try to say it all again, but slower. Like that was gonna make a
Slower.
difference. But we found a guy named Paul who helped us out. Thank you,
Oh,
Paul.
Paul.
Konnichiwa.
Nice
Japan
guy.
is super
Well,
different from the
fruity.
States. I didn't really know what to expect, but my mom and I were super hyped after experiencing and learning about the culture. Dad and Jax, not so much, but they like the food. So here's what
Basically,
happened.
men
This
like
morning,
to
woke up
eat
early to do a
food.
Tokyo bus tour. This time, after our best friend Paul taught us the ropes, we were experts at navigating the subway. We got on the wrong train. We stopped at a
The
cafe
wrong
for
train,
breakfast,
eh?
and it was at that point where I realized I wasn't going to be able to use the image translation app I downloaded to try and make communication easier while we were there. It would have been super awesome to just hover the camera over the Japanese symbols and have the phone immediately be like, hey, this is what this says. But it wasn't working the way I thought it would. I
Was
don't
working.
speak Japanese, but I'm pretty sure they weren't selling a surprise
Alright.
egg topped with the first time.
Definitely was the first
that.
time, in public.
I don't think that's a thing. Who married an egg
What
and
was
why is she
translated?
first? The tour was fun. We went to a forest with some shrines, saw some sumo wrestlers, went up the
Sumo
Tokyo
wrestler.
Tower. Pretty cool Asian stuff. Second day, we walked on Japan's big famous crosswalk that looks like the B movie's traffic system.
it's maybe
Pressed F for
Shibuya
the dog that
Scramble.
waited 9 years for
Look
his
at
dead
this.
owner to return from the train station. I love you, Hachiko. Went to a hedgehog cafe. Got on the wrong train. Mega Donkey!
Mega
Too much
Donkey!
money at the Pokemon Center. Won nothing at a big arcade. And then collapsed into bed. I should probably slow things down a bit so you can really
Oh,
take
yeah.
in. Day
Indeed.
whatever, wrong train, price findings, tiny banana snack. My
So
brother said
quick.
it tasted weird. Walking tour. Oh god, my legs hurt. More noodles. Went to sleep. We had another bus tour around Kyoto, and one of the stops was this 1,000 golden statues temple that was really cool, and we learned about a bunch of gods. One of
Bunch of
which
gods?
I, a Pokemon master, already recognized since it was the inspiration behind Thundurus.
Yeah, she's right. Thunderous is inspired by Raijin. It means Japanese thunder god.
Another one of the stops on the bus tour was this temple called Kiyomizu-dera. And there's a whole backstory to this place where some people would do this thing called taking the plunge, which was seen as a bold
Taking
and
the
desperate,
plunge.
extreme wish-making act. So it's simple. What you do is jump off the 43-foot temple balcony and not die.
And
That's
not
literally
die.
it. I'm not joking. In the Edo
That's so
period, people
difficult.
believe that if they put their lives in the hands of Kannon, the god of mercy, you'd be granted a wish, given you don't die, because he doesn't give wishes to corpses. During that
Naturally.
time, 200 people jumped, and 85% of them survived, which I'd say is actually a pretty good ratio. One woman apparently even jumped twice.
Really? Crazy.
My wish didn't come true. Well, I guess I jump again. I don't let you do that anymore. Which I think is fair, I guess. Anyway,
fair.
that wasn't even where I was going with that place. There's this little shrine area at the foot of the temple with 3 waterfalls, each representing either longer life, wisdom, or
Yeah,
love.
that's
And
true,
if you
yeah.
drink from one of them, it's believed that you'd be granted that particular category in life. But you only get one drink.
She's
So I
cheating.
go up there with my long cup on a stick you get, and was watching what everyone else was doing. They would get the water in the cup, wash one hand at a time, then pour some water into one hand to drink from, and let the rest drip into the pool below. Anyway, cutting to the chase, basically, you're in the presence of some pretty intense wisdom right now. Also, there wasn't any place to dry your hands afterwards, so I got wisdom water all over my pants. After that, we saw the 1,000 red gates. You're allowed to walk under them, but apparently it takes like 3 hours to get through them all.
Yeah,
And we didn't
actually,
have that time,
that's
so we
so
walked
long.
under like 10 and called it a day. After waking up with some French toast that was lightly dusted with a pound of sugar, my mom and I went to the Studio Ghibli Museum. I can't express how incredible that place was. I
Incredible,
would recommend it to
yeah.
anyone who has an appreciation for Ghibli, or animation, or art, or anything. I'd show you how mesmerizing it is in there, but there's no filming or photos allowed inside, so no spoilers here. I'm a child of the law.
Child
I did
of the
snag
law.
this picture of the kids' play area because I thought it was adorable. And sometimes you just gotta break the rules when it's important, okay? We went to a conveyor belt sushi place, and Mom had never been to one before, so she got overwhelmed and just immediately grabbed
Overwhelmed.
5 random things. I've been to one once before, but my skills aren't anywhere near coordinated. So when I tried to put the wasabi bowl back,
Ouch.
I ended up clogging a bunch of plates and ruining a section of the sushi harmony, and just being really obnoxious, and I felt really bad.
And actually, you don't have to take sushi from the conveyor. So if you talk to waiters, you can order sushi you like. So don't get so nervous in kaiten sushi.
The next day, we almost got on the wrong train. The wisdom juice is kicking in. We went to this famous
remains
Sega
on your
arcade
pants,
with 8
yeah.
floors. That was immensely intimidating. You know how you go to an arcade and there's always some Asian kid who's an absolute god at a game, and there's a little crowd watching because it's so mesmerizing and we're all pathetic? This is their hive. This
Hive.
is the Enlightenment Mountain they climbed for
Gachise.
80 years and consumed.
So gachise, it means people who are extremely enthusiastic about something. Yeah.
Nothing but tears of tigers.
Tears of
Car
tiger?
racing, combat games.
What's
Even
that?
the children were getting spit out the womb playing like monks. Look at this guy. I don't know what game this is or the objective here, but the aura around him is screaming, "Leave here and never come back, unworthy rat." We were
And
also
apparently
introduced to this
it's their
dance game I've never
passion.
seen before called Dance Rush Stardom. It's like DDR, but with less arrows and 100% more late 90s Melbourne shuffling. My brother and I tried to play it, and it felt like the whole country was like, "Oh God, why are they here? They look Asian, but they're white as crackers." But we got a good kick out of it, so you know what? Go konnichiwa yourself. Then we left and
What
got
does
on
it
the road.
mean?
But the last night we went to this robot show, and let me tell you, this place is insane. So the main attractions of the place are these giant flashy robots and stuff. But I gotta talk about these drinks and light bulbs they were selling. They were
Light bulbs?
crazy with all their blinking colors and such. It was like a little rave in a cup. Like, dude, who comes up with this stuff? Benjamin Franklin wishes he did.
I
I'll tell you
haven't
that.
been
Choose
there,
from,
but
like,
I'm
4
so
drink
curious.
choices, but most of them were alcohol, so I got this peach juice instead. I'm legally allowed to drink now, but I'm not the biggest fan, and who knows how outrageous the drink would have looked if I was a bit tipsy. Anyway, definitely one of the most insane things I saw.
So
for
noisy.
Sure. Top of the list of the entire show. Nothing compares to the little light bulb. Japan Japan was so much fun, and it's become one of my favorite memories with my family. But the
Good
thing
to hear
is, when
that.
I started this script, I wanted to briefly mention what we did so I could talk about how much trouble I had getting back home, because that was a whole situation of classic Jaden I thought you would enjoy. But here I am on page 4 of the script, and I haven't been able to tell him anything. I don't like breaking stories into different parts, but we're not animating a 20-minute video. I'd rather put my hands in the life of canon. Twice. So yeah, see you in a
Don't
few
flash
weeks
into the
with
ground, please.
that. Hey, thanks.
This video is too funny to react, and as she said, there are so many places to go in Japan. So please feel free to ask me in the comments below. I recommend you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a like and subscribe here. So また次の動画でお会いしましょう。さよなら。